Genesis chapter 29 is an intriguing story that revolves around Jacob, one of Isaac's sons. Jacob had a complicated family history, including his brother Esau, who had sold his birthright to Jacob for a bowl of stew, and his father Isaac, who had been deceived by Jacob and given him the family blessing meant for Esau. In this chapter, Jacob is on the lookout for a wife. He arrives at a well in a foreign land and sees a beautiful woman named Rachel, who is the daughter of his mother's brother, Laban. Jacob is immediately smitten by her and goes to great lengths to impress her. He helps her water her father's flock, and then kisses her, a gesture that signals his desire to marry her. Laban agrees to give Rachel to Jacob in marriage, but tricks him by giving him her older sister, Leah, instead. Jacob is understandably upset but agrees to work for Laban for 7 more years, in order to marry Rachel as well. Leah is not as attractive as Rachel and Jacob does not love her, but he takes her as his wife and she bears him several children. The rivalry between Leah and Rachel intensifies as Rachel remains childless, and she becomes jealous of Leah's children. Rachel gives her maid to Jacob as a wife in order to bear children for her, and Leah does the same. Soon, Jacob has 12 sons, the future fathers of the 12 tribes of Israel. Despite the deception and the complicated family relationships, the story of Genesis 29 is ultimately a tale of love, devotion, and the power of persistence. Jacob's unwavering desire to marry Rachel, and his willingness to work for her for 14 years, shows just how strong true love can be. Genesis chapter 30 continues the story of Jacob and his family. At this point, Jacob has married 2 sisters, Leah and Rachel. Leah has already borne him several children, but Rachel remains childless and is envious of her sister's fertility. In an attempt to have children of her own, Rachel offers her handmaid, Bilhah, to Jacob as a surrogate. Bilhah bears 2 sons for Jacob, Dan and Naphtali, but Rachel claims them as her own. Not to be outdone, Leah also offers her handmaid, Zilpah, to Jacob as a surrogate. Zilpah gives birth to 2 sons, Gad and Asher, who are also claimed by Leah. The rivalry between Leah and Rachel continues as they both try to outdo each other in bearing sons for Jacob. Finally, after years of waiting, Rachel gives birth to a son, whom she names Joseph. However, even with all these children, Jacob still desires to return to his homeland. He negotiates with his father-in-law, Laban, to be allowed to leave with his family and possessions. Laban, realizing that Jacob has been a valuable asset to him, offers to pay him for his services. Jacob agrees, and they come to an agreement that he will take all the spotted and speckled sheep and goats as his payment. In a cunning move, Jacob arranges for the animals to mate in front of St.